So we had a meeting with Joe, and Shrek is a very elaborate musical. So there were a lot of things, a lot of challenges that we have for us to deal with before we could even begin to think about casting. One of the projects was Gingy, and Gingy was probably my favorite character in the whole musical, in the movies. Just a great, great fun guy. So I jumped at the chance. I can't wait to get this these puppets animated. So what I did was came up with some images of Gingy. There's a lot of musicals out there, and a lot of times the Gingys don't really look like Gingy, and we all know what he looks like. We've all seen the movies. So my one real focus is to try to make him look as much as the real Gingy from the movies as possible. So of course I did a lot of research, looked at a lot of the puppets that were already out there, and of course looked at the movies. And I came up with kind of this as my my little template. Gingy normally has his legs a little closer together, but I thought for the, and this is probably the one thing that I really kind of pushed it a little, because I really want him to be seen very well from the audience. So I kind of gave him this kind of design with his legs. Everything else is pretty much kind of like the Gingy that you see in the movie. And there's another reason why I did it this way, and I'll get to that. Then we went shopping, and we looked around for different things, and of course he has some really distinctive features, one of which is his red lips, his licorice lips. And I thought of a couple of different ways to do it. Jesse actually found this when we were at Home Depot, and it's bungee cord. So we found this red bungee cord. It was perfect. It's flexible for the puppet. The animator can get his hands in there and really make this part go. I had seen a couple of versions of Gingy, and one of the biggest complaints was that you couldn't see his mouth move very well. Whether it was a hand puppet or whether it was some sort of a box puppet with a lever, getting that mouth to go was really difficult. So I thought maybe this might be a really good solution. So we'll see if it works as well as I hope. I've got two of them because we have two puppets. The first Gingy we need is a Gingy, and if you want to slide over here, and I'm going to flip these because I've adhered them to the material, but I need to cut around them, and I kind of did already. The first puppet we see in the musical is Gingy during the torture chamber, where he's on the cookie sheet. We're introduced to Gingy. He's being interrogated by Lord Farquaad. So this puppet is going to be affixed to a cookie sheet. What that cookie sheet is yet, we're not sure. I'm kind of leaning towards foam core. It needs to be light. Joe does not want a fixed set piece or something that comes out. He wants it flexible enough that maybe a couple of guards could carry him out and then carry him off. So I made him this way. You can see he's got the torture where his legs come off. And now what I'm working on today is fitting these pieces around. So you can see where this one, actually I think this one goes here, and then this one will go here on the cookie sheet, and there will be some room here to make it look like they're severed. One of the other reasons why I made Gingy's legs a little farther apart is Hannah and I thought it would be cute to have shackles on him to keep him down. So we needed a little more thigh room, so that's why I kind of made his legs a little longer and a little farther apart so we could actually get some of those shackles in here. And then this one does not need a skeleton because he's going to be, of course, affixed to essentially his skeleton, which is the cookie sheet. However, what we're also thinking about doing for this one is letting the head be mobile. So basically I'm going to take this puppet, I will affix him, glue him down to the cookie sheet except for his neck and head. And that will have a hole then cut out of the cookie sheet where the puppeteer could actually maybe lift Gingy's head or turn towards Farquaad. So you can actually have a suspended disbelief that he is actually, you know, being tortured. He's not going to be just like this stagnant thing with just the mouth moving. He could even try tugging his arms out of the shackles. So that might be kind of a fun little quirk. What makes Gingy Gingy are the details of him. And so I really studied every little piece of icing and every little bit of his decoration. because that really is going to make this puppet fly. So I went ahead, I got some more pictures, really focused in, made sure that the icing looked like it had been squeezed out of a bag like you would if you were making a gingerbread cookie. I make gingerbread cookies, so I know. And so I was able to find this Model Magic stuff, and Hannah had used it a lot on a lot of her projects. She makes masks and she uses this stuff for teeth. I wasn't so familiar with it, so I got to playing with it, and it's a lot of fun. I've actually given it to my kids for Easter and things, and I've never played with it for myself, so it's a lot of fun to work with, and it's also air dry. It doesn't lose its shape, and it doesn't shrink, which is also something that concerned me. So I looked at some pictures of him and started assembling the pieces. The two puppets are a little different in the fact that the torture puppet does not need his sprinkle stitches, and the regular puppet that we see for the rest of the musical does have the little sprinkle stitches that holds his feet onto his legs. I even looked at the shape of a gumdrop, and there are lots of different shapes of gumdrops, but this is pretty true to a normal gumdrop, and of course these will be painted. The white will obviously stay white, but we're going to have some acrylic paint here. The mouth obviously goes here. We'll do the cutting here. And of course the big thing that really makes Gingy look like Gingy are these eyes. And so I've got these buttons eyes, and of course those will not be painted, but then of course he's got his famous eyebrows that like to move. And of course the puppet that we normally see for most of the show, he's happy like this. The torture scene is a little different. All you need to do is move these in. Suddenly he is mad, wants out of the torture chamber and seek his revenge. So you know, we'll also play with whether or not he's frowning. Maybe the torture puppet lips will be down just a little bit. I kind of like him being fairly neutral, so he can have a range of emotion for the major puppet, the full puppet. So we'll see how it goes, but I think we're off to a good start. I'm hoping to finish this project fairly soon. I can't wait to animate him, and I'm sure Kyle will come back when I'm ready to animate him. So